The first new treatment for Alzheimer's in nearly 20 years has been approved by regulators in the United States, paving the way for its use in other parts of the world.
It works by targeting the underlying causes of the illness rather than its symptoms. Despite extensive trials, however, researchers remain divided on its benefits. Let's talk now to David Thomas, who is Head of Policy at the charity Alzheimer's Research UK. Great to have you with us on the programme. So is this news as good as it sounds? Just how much of a breakthrough does it represent?
So this is a landmark moment in Alzheimer's. There have been no new treatments in this area for nearly 20 years. And this is the first treatment that has been shown to actually tackle the disease itself rather than just treating the symptoms. So it's a really, it is an important moment and certainly a breakthrough. I think it's very much a first step. And as you highlighted, there are uncertainties around the clinical data in relation to this medicine, but we believe that it's a good start in a place where there is desperate need for new treatments and a positive move forward.
So as you say, some uncertainties, are they well placed?
So what the FDA, which made this decision in the US, what they argued was that the medicine was proven to remove amyloid plaques, which is the protein in the brain associated with the development of Alzheimer's disease. So they were confident that it removed those plaques. What they said that there was some uncertainty around was the actual clinical benefit around that, and there has been a really significant debate within the clinical community about this. So in response to that, the FDA has called on the manufacturer of the medicine, Biogen, to launch a new clinical trial, which will be looking at how this medicine performs in the real world and to ensure that they can answer some of those questions about the performance of the medicine and about the difference it will make to those patients taking it. So we're hoping that that will provide some further answers to the questions which are certainly outstanding.
So when might we see this drug available outside of the United States?
So yes, I think in somewhere like Europe, we're probably looking at a sort of regulatory decision within the next 6 to 9 months, and I would imagine that you'll be seeing that in other parts of the world over the next year. There are obviously big questions, around once you've got a license for this medicine, how you find those patients who would benefit from it, how health systems can get ready for that. So we are, so for example, in the UK and in Europe, we're expecting this to be another year before it'll actually reach patients here.
And perhaps understandably, the pandemic's drawn a lot of attention from the scientific community, but how much has COVID slowed down research into Alzheimer's?
So it has had a big impact, as it has impacted all disease areas in the research field. As COVID has in so many other areas exacerbated existing problems. So we think there's been historic underinvestment in this area, which has been reflected in the lack of treatment options. And COVID has only accelerated that process. So, both in terms of the funding being reduced, in terms of the priority for governments and for funders being understandably around responding to COVID, but also on the pressures that COVID has put on health systems and practical issues like actually participants in clinical trials being able to come into hospitals during a pandemic to be part of that trial. So it's raised a whole host of practical issues. I mean, we are hoping, obviously that it varies across the globe in terms of how significant COVID is impacting right now. We're hoping things will start to return to normal, but we are calling on governments to make sure that they continue to prioritise dementia and that they put investment into research in this area to make sure we get back to where we need to be and that we see a range of treatments, because aducanumab this medicine is one treatment, it's a start, but we need to see a range of treatments for all types of dementia entering the market. And so that's where we need to keep up that investment and create further momentum globally.
But a cautious celebration of what is a landmark moment. David Thomas from Alzheimer's Research UK, thanks very much indeed for joining us.